Welcome to the Blumhouse. The Lie tells the story of an estranged mother and father teaming together to cover up the sinister secret of their daughter. What's up, guys, and welcome to my reviews of the Welcome to the Blumhouse releases. This is a collaboration between the big production company Blumhouse and Amazon Studios. I believe it's 4 horror films this October that are going to be coming out. I'm sure they'll re-up that. You're going to have even more films later on in this year with COVID still going on, but this October, they've been advertising it quite a bit with posters and promotional materials. 4 films, 4 original stories coming to you the month of October, 2 of which should be dropping this Tuesday, which should be a day after you are watching this video, and then the other 2 will be later on in the month of October. So I got to check out the first 2, which is The Lie, this review, as well as Black Box, which will be released later on today or possibly tomorrow. Got to check them out about 3 or 4 days early. And aside from just being aware of this collaboration and this thing that they were advertising for the month of October, I really don't know anything else about these films. I didn't know anything else about the origins, how long they've been hanging on to them, the storylines, absolutely nothing. I walked into both of these 2 films that I've watched thus far completely blind. And as far as The Lie goes, interesting place to start. But starting off with the positives for The Lie, the main one that I noticed is that the acting pretty much all the way around was really good in this. You got Peter Sarsgaard, you've got Joey King, who I've seen in quite a few things since she was a little girl, all the way up to now. You've got, I believe her name is Muriel Enos, the girl that I really enjoyed from The Killing is in this as well. And as the 2 parents and as this daughter that has this lie, this secret, this thing that the family's trying to kind of keep under wraps, I think all 3 of those actors did very good at bringing forth these family performances. A mother that doesn't really like her ex-husband and, you know, kind of thinks that he spoils the young daughter, but now has to kind of come in and be the thinker because she has the legal mind that knows all the tricks and trades that they have to do to try to keep this secret down under wraps. You got Peter Sarsgaard, who's kind of like the shitbag dad who's trying to come back and do right now, and he's a little bit more emotionally tied to his daughter and wants to do right by her because for so long he didn't. And then Joey King as this young teenage girl who's supposed to be about 15 in the movie, who does something really fucked up, regrets it immediately, and has to go through this wall of emotions with her family while they're trying to keep all this stuff under wraps, while you don't really know as a viewer whether or not it was an accident or whether it was on purpose. Acting-wise, I think they served their characters and this movie about as well as you could have asked them to. The next positive for The Lie, I got to see it for free. And it wasn't that long, 90 minutes-ish. Okay, cat's out of the bag. Negatives with The Lie, this is the dumbest fucking movie that I have seen all year. And I have seen some gems. I mean, we have been deprived of the movie theaters since February. I have seen so many straight-to-video, straight-to-VOD releases that people have hyped up and I thought were very disappointing and really weren't up to par, and I can understand completely why they went to VOD. I have not watched anything to the caliber of frustration and just absolute retardation as far as the twists that they have in store for you with the storyline of The Lie all year. This is the movie where I got to the end of it and I went, yep, if I was gonna do a top 10 worst this year, this would be number 1 right now, immediately to the top of that list. I don't wanna oversell it for you. Like, this is not a movie that's just like a train wreck all the way through to where they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing in every single aspect. It's shot competently. Like I said, there's good actors, but story-wise, there is absolutely nothing in this movie that you have not seen a dozen times before. I mean, how many times have we seen this thriller concept? And I will say thriller, they're marketing all of these as horror stories, but there's nothing that is even a shred of horror in this movie. A thriller where somebody does something fucked up and then they gotta try to uncover it. And meanwhile, they're just doing more and more dumb things, trying to keep this secret under wraps. The more the cops get involved, the more other people get involved, and there's this paranoia going on, and oh, now we gotta get this person on our side, or now we gotta go fuck this person up so they don't get in. How many times have we seen that storyline? Dozens of times. Every single one of them are better than The Lie. This is literally a 90-minute collection of 3 people doing the dumbest shit over and over and over and over again to try to conceal this thing that would not be that hard to explain in the first place. I'm sorry, it wouldn't. I mean, once you're about 2/3 of the way into this movie and you see how far the parents are willing to go and continue to go to cover up this secret for this girl who is a complete shitty ass person the entire movie, it just blows my mind. And it's even harder when you're a parent because you kind of put yourself in their shoes and you're like, okay, what if my kid did something like this? Would I risk it all to try to keep them out of jail? Would I just say, fuck it, we're going to the police? You're my kid, but you're gonna fess up to whatever you did. You do have those questions anytime you reach a movie like this, but when you see the degree of stupidity that these parents are going to, you're like, nah, I would have caved about half an hour ago. Sorry, I love my kids, but I ain't doing that shit. All boiling up to a final reveal in the last 5-7 minutes of the film that was so unexpected because it's like the dumbest possible fucking thing you could do with this story, that when it happened, I literally laughed out loud. I mean, it's a very quiet scene, a quiet reveal to where there's no noise, there's no score, there's nothing, because it just wants to show the shock and the awe of the characters that are seeing the truth revealed, that you as an audience member are watching it, and I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. And then that quiet realization just kind of bleeds through until the credits roll, and you're just like, how did you greenlight this script, put money into the production, spend 2 to 3 months shooting and editing and releasing this fucking thing? How does this story get that? How does this story get acting caliber like Peter Sarsgaard involved with this? I don't get it. I mean, you had to have read that twist in the back of that script and laughed your ass off. Unless they just changed it on the fly, there is no way a competent actor could read that and go, you know what, that sounds compelling. So you're drudging through this 90-minute runtime of this run-of-the-mills cliche storyline that you have seen dozens of times, done way better elsewhere. All the while you just trek through it to get to this reveal at the end, and you immediately just want to bitch slap the person next to you and just blame them as if it was their idea to put this movie on. Like, you fuck. You wasted 90 minutes of my life that I will never get back again. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that like these little low-rent, mid-level thriller stories or whatever, and they'll put it on and be satisfied enough. I don't know how much they're going to charge for this thing, but whatever it is, I'm sure there's an audience for it that's going to go, that was decent enough time. But for me, I expect a little bit more. Whenever you're going to market something like this, whenever you're going to bring it out, especially in a time where we are desperate for movies right now, and this is what you give me, I'm sorry. If I'm starving on the street and you throw me a saltine, that doesn't make you an awesome person. And you know, one more point that I want to make before I get out of here and continue on to something more worth my time. There was a little debate that I saw going on in social media over the past week over the merit of Blumhouse as a property, as a brand. And I'm somebody that has always been very critical of the fact that they just seem to have no quality control whatsoever over at Blumhouse. It seems like they say yes to everything. Any script that they can afford, they go ahead and buy and throw out there and put their name on. And this person was defending the fact that Blumhouse has given us some incredible horror films over the past 5 or 6 years. Some of the biggest and most notable horror films that we have seen tend to have the name Blumhouse on it, and that is absolutely a fact. Unfortunately, the ugly side of that coin is that they also have their name attached to some of the worst horror films that we have seen every single year for the past 3 or 4 years. Seriously, go back. Almost every single top 5, top 10 that you will find 1 or 2 Blumhouse movies in the top and 1 or 2 Blumhouse movies in the bottom. I mean, last year they gave us Black Christmas 2019 in December. That was by far, by a landslide, the shittiest movie that I had seen all of last year, and one of the instant worst remakes that I've ever seen in my life. And then 2 months later, they give us The Invisible Man, which, despite COVID, would have been one of the best films of the year. So it's like, where the fuck is the scale now with Blumhouse? I wish that they would stop saying yes to shit like The Lie and just have a little bit more quality control, because I would love nothing more than to see the words of Blumhouse and go, yeah, they got it. You know it's gonna be quality. But when people start saying, hey, they did good with Halloween, arguably, you can give Nightmare, you can give Scream, you can give Friday the 13th to Blumhouse. And I'm like, whoa, bitch, slow down. So overall, guys, if you want to see these actors continue to act well, which should not be a surprise at this point if you have followed any of their careers, sure, go ahead and watch The Lie. But the biggest lie is that this movie is actually worth checking out, because Just the absolute cliche storyline that had no surprises, no creativity, nothing new to do or say with it whatsoever, all leading up to this god-awful bullshit twist that just made me laugh out loud. No, sorry. So if you're bored at home on a Tuesday night and you want to check out this little quick low-rent thriller, then invite 10 or 15 friends over and split the cost amongst all of you. But for everybody else, avoid this thing at all costs. It's not the worst thing in the world, but damn did it piss me off. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to tell you, fuck this movie. Whew, off to a great start with Welcome to the Blumhouse, aren't we? What are your thoughts, guys? Have you checked this thing out yet? If you're watching it just as it airs, you probably haven't, but if you decide to check it out in the next day or so, come back, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you had anywhere near the reaction that I did. Am I just somebody that just was not in the right mindset to watch this and it just really aggravated the living piss out of me? Did you watch it and think there was actually some merit there, some things that I didn't cover, some things that actually does make this thing worth checking out? Let me know down below and we will discuss that in the comment section. And be sure to keep your eyes peeled either later on today or tomorrow for the second chapter of Welcome to the Blumhouse with Black Box. Check that out, please. Like and share this video. Thank you so much for checking this one out. Subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. I got a lot of other content on this channel that you will enjoy if you enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, remember, opinions are like assholes, but that doesn't mean that you have to be.